Yeah, welcome back to the Jabari Show. Today we have Renelle.
Hi.
I don't call you Ren Wilson. I just feel like that's a very. Did you just do that for Instagram?
Yeah, it was like, cause I just didn't want people to have to like fight up trying to spell Renelle because people would just interpret
Could
it
you get
all
the name
wrong.
Renelle though? Just Renelle.
Nah, I think I'd probably try that. I don't think it'd work.
Oh, because I wanted to just
I mean,
get.
too many people trying to be me right now, and like it's
Oh,
just
true, true,
kind
true,
of
true,
sad
true.
now.
All right.
I am the
All
Renelle,
right, all
like all
right.
the other Renelles
You know what
just
it
had to
said?
take a
Woke
back
up to
seat.
people talking like me.
What?
It's a song. It's okay. It's
That's
a hip young kid song.
oh,
You
a
know.
hit young kid song.
Hip,
Wow,
hip, hip.
hip. Ah,
I know you're hip
yes.
with the kids too, but
I
there's
am
a
very
much
hip with
more.
the kids. I listen to a lot of kids bop. You know,
Is Kids Bop's the thing?
kids bop is the worst thing ever. Honestly.
So just to give the people a little backstory, we were recording. We were in a very intense taco conversation,
Intense,
right?
deep tackle.
Which we thought we were recording. We spoke about Ronald's style camp, me basically staying up, not staying up, but getting up. I think I probably got up at like 5 to prep myself for 6, and I was like barely
You
up.
commitment
And I was like,
level.
wow, Renelle looks good. Like, she really dressed up. And I was like, if it was me, I would just be in a hoodie. Just like this boy on TV in a hoodie. So yeah, we talked about that and basically how she got the slot. I also wanted to know, like, what is the one that you paid for, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much is it? Is it like a lot of money? Or is it like like you mentioned, like a kidney joke? But I don't know
trying
if it's
to
actually
remember.
that much.
I am honestly trying to remember. I cannot quite remember.
Does everything come
So
out of
it
your
was-
pocket?
What do you mean?
For the
Everything
whole
and
style
everything.
camp that you ran.
Yeah, basically it's kind of.
So there was no like co-host type of deal or
Well, like okay, so how it was like some people. Well, okay, let me tell you about Style Camp from to begin with. So Style Camp stands for Success Training for Young Leaders and Entrepreneurs, and it was something I decided to do to kind of pivot during the pandemic, and it was really geared towards helping young people prepare for the world of work, prepare for entrepreneurship. So we had speakers from NEDCO, speakers from the central bank, discussing financial literacy, all that good stuff, just to really help prepare young people for the future, stuff like that.
yeah.
So, um, that's what it was really about. So yeah, it was. I had to kind of go out of pocket to do some of it. They were really helpful people who were able to volunteer their time and services to it as well.
Yeah.
Some of them had to pay, some of them had to were volunteers.
How
So.
many people were there? Like in total? I wasn't there for it. I wanted to attend, but I was just
Nah, it was a good turnout.
like,
I think
like
we always.
time went, and I was just like, okay, yeah, maybe next week or I think I was even because it was like what 300, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, because I was even thinking about like even to sponsor someone
Oh.
just to like
Yeah.
be there, and I was like, yeah, next week I'll do that. And this time came out, I was like, oh well, it's done. Next time maybe I don't know.
Yeah, we are looking to have one next year. Try to make it like an annual thing.
Yeah.
Actually, we're looking into having a free session in November regarding helping people with like mental health and coping with stress. So just like a quick little small session on that. It's a free session for young people. So that'll
Yeah.
be like school age people and like people in tertiary institutions, really open to anybody. So
Yeah.
that will be coming up in November. So just make sure and follow me on Renelle Wilson Stylist, and you could follow Style Camp TT on Instagram and Facebook at Style Camp.
What was it turnout like for the actual style camp?
Turnout was good.
Was it one day or multiple days?
It was multiple days. It was
Yeah, I
like
thought
over the
so.
course of like a week, like 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking 3 for some reason.
Nah, it wasn't like 3 days. It was like 5 days, and it was like
And each you guys had like a
Okay.
day.
not. It wasn't like each person per day. Like it had like a couple sessions per day, so like 2 to 3 sessions per day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be more like than like an hour each. So it was mostly like about 2 sessions per day. So it might have been like 2 hours
Okay.
out of the day. So yeah, it was really cool. Like the students really enjoyed it a lot. Like, cause like we did like really comprehensive stuff in terms of like preparing for interviews and dressing for like the workplace and like for Zoom. We had some people do like makeup and stuff for work, appropriate makeup, skincare. Like so basically like you have to present yourself properly, of course, if it is you're gonna be doing work and stuff like that. So I did of course, the styling, the dressing aspect because drip is eternal, drip is important. Even in the workplace. So yeah, I had the drip on point.
Did
So,
you
yeah.
answer how was the turnout? I'm sorry for cutting you
Oh,
off.
the turnout. Oh, the turnout. Like, how many people? We got like about 40 people, 40 plus people.
That's a
So it's
lot.
cool. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I was trying to find out about this and
Mm.
my how do I put that? What do people say? I have
So many things.
I have like when you have inside information or you have like a
With
spy
your
on the inside,
inside
you say
sources.
I have a link.
no, not a link. It's not a bird. A little birdie told me
A
that. As I was
bird?
saying. I
What
say I was
bird?
trying to find out from a little birdie, but
Oh, yes.
A
I
little
was
birdie?
yeah.
Or your bird?
Yo. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa?
Yeah,
Whoa?
they don't know that. That's a very
Who
on
don't
the
know
low,
what?
top secret. The listeners.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just asking a question and you just had
Oh.
an answer. I
Well,
don't
the
know.
way how you said it, it just felt like very direct, and I was like,
I don't know. Like, you know something I don't know?
Okay. All right. What is his name? The I don't know guy.
The who guy?
Daniel
Who guy?
Loveless. The guy who's running the I don't know
What you
show.
know? The I don't know.
Yeah, same thing. What you know, I don't know. You still don't know something.
It's just ignorance. Just
Yes.
It is ignorance. We just know that there's
Isn't that
ignorance.
Daniel Loveless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to love more. Not
He
love
what?
less. You need to love more, not love less.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
So this is
But,
gonna be Renelle for the next hour. And yeah, so I guess so style camp came up because you had time on your hands. That's kind of
Not
what I
about
got.
time on my hands. You make it sound like I was just like, home bored,
No,
sitting in
not
the house
that, but like,
bored.
if you were styling all the time, then there would not be time to do style camp, right?
In a sense, yeah, but I think it would have been something I still would have
Or you
wanted to
might
do
have
at
put it
some
until
point.
later.
Yeah, probably.
It would have taken a lot more time, but now it's like, well, shoot's not really
Yeah.
happening.
Mm.
I could be occupied with this thing. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask. You said it was online, right? So how would have people paid for it? Would they have to like go into the bank and deposit it into an account, or how would it?
Yeah, we were taken from like either via online banking or like they could go in physically to the bank and do stuff like that. You could send the money via carrier pigeon, which I would not recommend because carrier pigeons are unreliable. But I would say
You know how those work?
Hmm?
I think those work, right? By
carrier pigeons.
yeah.
I
By-
don't know. Like I've never really studied.
No, I
it,
know how they work. I think. You give me your pigeon,
Right.
and so that way the pigeon knows where to go home. Like that's how it works.
Pigeon is born and brought up. It knows this is home.
It knows that this is home.
And then
So for
it
her,
releases
yeah.
And it flies back.
So it'd
But
be like, oh yeah, I have a letter for you. You know, the mail taking
But how are
long.
you supposed to find your pigeon? How you know where the pigeon goes when it leaves home?
It doesn't. No, the pigeon always finds home.
The pigeon could find home, but how the person who have the message for you gonna find
No, you like we meet up. You give me your pigeon, and then when I go home, I write up my letter and I just
Send it back.
send out the pigeon, and the pigeon would find you. It
So I have to be
always.
picking up your pigeon. The pigeon won't just come out like that. Your
Well,
pigeon
it's not
home
my
by
pigeon.
me.
It's your pigeon.
Well, whoever pigeon
It's one
got
of
to be
those things-
home by
It's one of
you.
those things where I have 50 of your pigeons, and you have
Yeah.
50 of my pigeons, and we just have them flying back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, cause I thank you for this because I honestly did not know how carrier pigeons work. I just thought like, it's a concept, but you never really study how it would work. But like, I feel like I have so much clarity now. I feel like
My mom
I
told me
believe.
about it, because I used to see a guy release a couple hundred pigeons in a where was it, in a room? Where was somewhere like that? Oh, yeah. Oh, jeez, I keep forgetting. But yeah, my mom taught me about it because we were driving past Orangway's Savannah, and a guy just let loose a whole bunch of pigeons. I was like, why? Why is this man carrying around a couple hundred pigeons? This is not a normal thing. It's like, oh no, it's carrier pigeons. What? And she explained it wasn't true.
But then when they bring, okay, so he released the pigeons into Arangwes, like into the
Yeah.
Kwesi, right? Then what?
They fly back home.
They fly home.
But what was the purpose of releasing them?
to train them. You have to train them.
Okay. Okay, right. Okay. All right. I follow now. Because I wonder, like, what you want to collect from an equation? Is it like what, a piece of like an old Bigfoot
No,
or
you have to
something?
train them.
Like, what's the point?
It's one of those things where, alright, you need to find your way back home. Oh, right. You need to find your way back home. So, let's say I take you a mile down the road, you fly back. I take you 2 miles down the road, you fly back home. And you just kind of keep pushing
And they should be tagged.
the distance, yeah.
So that
Okay,
way
yeah,
you know
I'm trying
that
to figure out
this
how
is-
you gonna remember which pigeon, how many pigeons,
Nah,
all
they
that
should be
kind of
tagged. They
thing.
should have like a little tag on their feet or something like that.
But why they don't just... You quit, they
Well,
always
this
have
was
too many
before
pigeons.
internets and, you know, messaging was instant.
Yeah.
Before birds had to be flying for their little days and however long. And yeah, it's a difficult
guess.
life. It's a difficult life to be a bird, you know. We don't know the struggles. It's actually
Birds do not have to, like, survive in the capitalist system. But yeah.
so styling.
Yeah, because I don't know, you went on a tangent here.
Yeah, this is
Styling.
we'll try to keep it on track. But
What you wanna know?
basically, like, how did you get into it? I think you went to UTT, right?
Yes, I did. I did.
Right, I have
Alright,
inside
so-
information. I know that.
Alright, you and the birdies that tell you things, right? So what happened was, many years ago I was born, right?
Mm.
But anyway,
Mhm.
I ended up in UE.
Why does it always start like that?
Yeah, like it.
Any bad
Everybody
story I think
keeps
of is
being
like,
born.
it all started when I was born.
Yeah, you keep being like I
It's
don't know. It's weird how you have to survive in order to like have a story. I don't know.
You want to know the funny thing? As she said UE and then go into UTT, I realizing a lot of people end up in UE and then leave UE either after or during to go to UTT because that's what's happening to me.
Here's the thing.
Well, okay. See what happened, right? So, as a teenager, I kind of like started to like fashion. I was like, oh, fashion vibes, yes.
What were you into before?
I was into just reading. I just like to read a lot. I used to read just
Could
all
you
the
read
time.
falling asleep?
I mean, read falling asleep.
Huh?
I read and then the reading makes me fall asleep. Eventually.
No, I'm just asking if you could read until you sleep. 'Cause
Kinda.
I just kind of feel like that's low-key psychopath behavior. Like,
Oh.
the boy went until... Like, I just can't
No, but that's
see
the best way to
myself...
fall asleep, though.
No, but like, I just can't be like reading and then the last word is just like and then I'm sleeping. Like it's just
But like you be watching
I have
TikTok
some-
videos and be like, oh look at the
no, I
puppy
can't.
doing, and
I
then
can't do that. I have to turn off my phone.
okay.
Like I can't watch things.
Okay, you're a
until I sleep.
psychopath. Like you just can't fall asleep. You're not tired enough. You ain't been through like enough to
I
be
can't-
tired.
I
That's
can't-
your problem. You're too young and full of life. He have too much like zest for life. That's
I
why.
watch some things to sleep, but that's because I know like they're gonna be talking like kind of soft. Like how
Like
you go from
ASMR
TikTok,
videos.
TikTok goes from like real soft to somebody yelling to like some random video, and then it's like a constant cycle.
Okay.
And that's why. Okay, but yeah, okay, reading before.
Yeah, I just used to read. I
But
used to read a lot. Like as a child, I was always like into reading and
But like as a
storytelling.
job or career, how was reading?
Not like okay, like you asked me what I was into, you didn't ask me what
Yeah.
career I wanted to do.
As a career,
But I
thought it
have to
was
give you the
kinda-
back. I'm trying to give you the backstory, but
Alright,
they
my
keep
bad.
going to me about pigeon and like a whole lot.
Alright, my bad. I'm sorry. I'll
All
stay on
over.
track.
No problem. But alright, so like I used to like to read, so I was always kind of into storytelling and stories in general. And as a teenager, I was like, oh, like you could tell stories, but with the clothes and the fashion, I was like, oh, that's a vibe, bro. And then like, but I was like, I didn't really know that styling was like a job in fashion, so I was just kind of like, the only hope is to become a designer, and I suck at drawing, so
Right,
like
you
that.
did go for designing.
Sorry.
You went for designing, right?
No, I'm getting it building up, building up to the story.
Oh, my bad,
We
my bad,
building
my
up, we
bad.
building up, right?
Alright, we're building up.
Right. So, yeah. So like, I thought the only thing I'd be able to do was like fashion design. But then somewhere along the line, like before I started UE to do international relations and French, I was like,
You speak French?
un petit peu. I know he does clear his cash very regularly, you know. He's clear his cash
do
very
you know about
regularly.
What you know about cash?
I know about cash money taking over for the 99 and the 2000s. Oh,
What does that mean?
nah.
What
Nah,
is
I
it?
don't.
For the 99 and the 2000?
Just
That's the year you were born or something?
that was. Oh my. You know what? I realized I real old. Anyway, anyway, right?
What does that mean?
So basically, right? Yeah. So I was doing. So like I was like, okay, I realized styling was a thing, but like I didn't know what
How
I
do
had
you
to
make money
study.
from it? Oh.
I didn't like know what to study or what. I didn't know anything, right? So I was just like,
Path to get to
yeah,
it.
it's like, okay, stylist is a thing that exists. So that's somebody who would like put together outfits for photo shoots and stuff like that. Like I feel like I could do that. I like that. I like to put together outfits on me. So I see how I could do that for other people.
Yeah, you could just kind of well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's
Thanks.
all
I
good.
appreciate that. I appreciate
yeah.
that. You know, for a man of taco socks, you know, like that's very refined.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say something else.
No,
It's fine.
I
don't
don't
worry.
know. Anyway, but like, yeah, so I didn't really know what I had to do to become a stylist. So like I just went to UE. I did international relations with the little French minor, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, I want to do fashion, but I don't know how. I don't know, but I just doing international relations. So like my whole like interior monologue was just me screaming through the whole thing.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't hate it or anything. I enjoyed it, but like at the end, I was like, fashion. I need to do the fashion, but like, okay. But like while I was in France, I realized, oh, UTT have like fashion management, so I don't have to like sew things. I don't have to draw things. I'm like, okay, bet. And I have like a styling course as part of it, so like I signed up for that. And like I was doing my application, I was like in France, and I was just like anxious, like, oh my gosh, are they gonna accept me? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die the whole time.
You
But
said
yeah,
in France?
yeah, I went to France. Yeah, I think I skipped steps. Yeah, after I finished UE, I went
Yeah, that
and I was
just flew
teaching.
over my head because I was like, okay, well, you learn French, but
The only way to learn French is in France.
I didn't.
School is not real.
Clearly, I didn't pick up on that.
No, but like yeah, I forget because like I was teaching English in France for like a year after I graduated in UE, and so I was there and I was like, I realized UTT had the thing, and I was like, let me apply for when I come back home.
Could you have not stayed there though? In France?
Yeah.
That's not like a.
Well, how the
big
program was for a
area for
year.
fashion,
The
or-
crew, yeah, it
Oh.
was like where I was like it was like a couple hours away from Paris. It was in Caen.
From the fashion house.
Yeah, it wasn't really in Paris. Like
Or fashion HQ. I don't know what to call it.
yeah, it wasn't really like fashion capital. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it wasn't really like in the heartland or the vibes now.
But it's still right there.
Yeah, but like the teaching program was only for like a year, so and like I think. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if they had like restrictions on like what job, if you could like do other jobs now while
Yeah.
doing that now. I wasn't too sure about it. Like whenever coming back home, also I was kind of homesick a little bit. So like it's just like you eat our doubles and all anyway. But that was stress.
That's a very long topic. We wouldn't get
Yeah,
into
we
that.
won't get into it. You seem like you're not a doubles person. But anyway,
Not really. Don't worry. I like to stay for that.
yeah. So like then I came back and I was like, okay, gonna do fashion management, and I did fashion management, and I really enjoyed it.
And from there, you just went straight into styling.
I
Was there
ended up-
anything in between, like any odd job?
no.
You
Like-
know, you just happened to work at like McDonald's for a week and was like, you know what? This is
No.
my dream. This is my passion. I quit. And on the spot, you just was like,
What I was doing when I came back, I was working at the writing center in UE, so helping people with like writing skills type of thing.
yeah.
I also write. I am more of a words person. As a words person before as a fashion person, but I love both.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing that, and then after that, I ended up working at Mickles as an office assistant, and that's when I was able to do a lot of shoots, like styling for like the e-commerce.
Oh, well, that's when I would have
doing the
met you,
flat
right?
lays. That's when you would have met me when I was
Okay.
in that role, and then after that, like COVID came, I kind of had like a kind of reckoning as like, if you don't do this now and start to like do the styling thing, you will never do it. So I was like, all right, let me do it.
Also, you wasn't doing it full time
Nah,
in a way. But
Mm,
because it was like you only full time, but you was still
Yeah.
just kind of helping
I was
out.
doing things on this like shoots on the side and stuff, but like, I felt like, yesterday you said tomorrow, just do it, kind of vibes.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, let me go on. Like, do this thing because I will always psych myself out from doing
Yeah.
it. You know?
So then was it like because of COVID, I guess, is why you were like, you know what, let me actually take this thing serious?
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for COVID, like, I would have probably just still been like doubting it myself all the time. Because you always be thinking, what, how this really going on? Why really? How this going on? Like, you know, it's kind of second guessing and wondering. And it's like, if you don't do it now, when you going to do it? Really?
Okay. As a stylist, right, like, how do you get your name out there? Because I always wonder about it slightly. Like, as a photographer, I could take photos. Or I think Jabari has something to say.
I was just gonna ask, like, what was that first styling job as Renelle Wilson, the stylist? What was it? How was it? Etc. 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 Or how did you get it?
Oh wait, let me get my story because I'll forget.
Okay,
That's what I was gonna
okay,
Right.
what story? What story?
Well, you'll
What story
answer
you
his
tell?
question, but my story was just I don't know how it works as a
Oh.
stylist because you have to kind of go out and ask people for clothes. Most of the time, you don't just have those clothes there. A lot of people don't just have like clothes laying around. They don't have the links to the big name. People will be like, oh yeah, could I borrow this for a shoot? You know, so they kind of have to like prove themselves. As a photographer, I could just be like, oh yeah, I see this cool model. They just have like cool clothes. I could get away with that. As a designer, you just make things and it work with photographers. But as a stylist, it's kind of like, how do you get your name out there and get work done?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it is kind of based on referrals and kind of being around.
But how do you
have to
get that
kind of be
first
around.
referral though?
Well, okay, so what happened was, right? That's how we will begin these stories today. What had happened was, right? So I think one of my first gigs was with Immortal Beauty.
That's like a big company in my head.
well,
I guess they're probably a lot bigger now than whenever it was, but
yeah, so like the CEO used to was actually one of my lecturers in UTT.
yeah.
So she elected me for
Of course she was.
some what it was it was for the same fashion styling and editing course actually, and also for I think it was what was the other course, boy? I think it was fashion buying or something like that. But yeah, it was through her, and I was working with her and Elon and stuff on a shoot.
Elon loves palm trees?
Yes,
Okay.
I just love his work. You know, I love how he's like so poetic about things. But
He used a model before. What was he doing before? Because
I-
I feel like he just got into photography and he's just like really good at it. And I was like,
he's
oh,
just
you were holding back all this time.
he
And I
just-
think Damien even told me
yeah.
that he works with him and he's like he saw something in Elon. He's like, yo, just focus on this because you're really good at it. And then since he's just been posting, I was like, oh well.
I don't know. He has like just such
But
a
I
good
think he
eye
wanted to
for
model
aesthetics.
first at some point.
I don't know, but I know he has a very good eye for aesthetics and just beauty in general. I think he does like interior design or decorating or something like that.
Okay.
So I always like appreciate his set design and like with the Immortal shoot as well. He did really good work with the set
Which
and
one?
stuff like that. This was okay. So the Immortal shoot was with for the 10th anniversary. It was
that
with
last year?
yeah, I think so. It was last year.
With the palm trees and
Yeah, the palm trees and the kind of like
yeah, I know what you're talking
wicker
about.
chairs and stuff like that. See what happened with that is that I would have really liked to have been been able to do more with that shoot because like I was involved with like a lot of the planning, the mood boarding, and all of that.
Yeah. I'm
But I
gonna
wasn't able
search for it just so that I make sure we're talking about the right shoot.
yeah.
But I'm listening.
But like I wanted to be more involved, but the thing is like I ended up getting really sick. Like I had like food poisoning. So like I wasn't able to actually go on set and stuff. But I think it was a really good opportunity all the same. I really appreciate, you know, being part of that. I learned a lot
Mhm.
from it too, even though I wasn't able to be as involved as I would have liked.
Oh, so you weren't there?
No, she said she was second.
Well, that's why you see you're listening to man and you're lying. Like, why the lies?
No,
Why
I am
lie?
listening.
You're
But
listening, but you're not hearing.
you know when you're doing something, it just information clicks later than it should.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, oh, okay, well she wasn't there.
Okay.
So then your role was kind of like more of an online presence of you set up everything before, and then you just kind of handle everybody else handled stuff on the day because you wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, more or less. That's kind of what it was.
Oh, okay.
So your lecturer contacted you personally. I was like, hey, here's the scene. I have something for you. Or how that.
Oh yeah. How does
Kind
who sent the
of.
first message?
Kinda, yeah. She had thought about me. She remembered me. And I had won the award for that year, like the year that I graduated too.
What award was it?
This for styling. Like, 'cause, like there was like an award for
Best
like
student?
best
student
styling,
stylist?
the styling award for the styling course now. So the
Okay.
styling course was like, yeah. So I'd have won that award. So I guess she would have realized, oh,
That was your first
Okay.
one? Styling?
my first what?
Styling job.
Yeah,
Was immortal.
yeah.
But wasn't Mickles?
Well, I mean,
Before
how
that?
you want to look at it?
Or
Like,
were you
okay,
more of a...
If what you asked me
right,
as
because you
Renelle
asked the
Wilson
question,
stylist.
when was the first one?
Independent.
yeah, as
Renelle,
an independent, like,
oh,
yeah.
okay, that makes so
But I
much
would have
more
done a
sense.
lot of like e-commerce
'Cause
shoots
I was
with
like,
Nichols. and
If
stuff
that's your
like
first one, then what were you doing in Mickles? Like, what was... Do I
Nah.
just not matter?
Yeah. But like, my first was ever okay.
No, not just, I just,
Yeah.
it makes sense now because
Yeah.
of what Jabari said.
Mm.
I kind of forgot that he said that.
Oh,
But, well, yeah, so I guess
Yeah.
how was the first one then?
that was when you say the first was one.
The first one, like, it doesn't have to be Renelle, the stylist. Just
Oh.
whatever.
My
job.
very first shoot was
Yeah, styling.
as in terms of
Doesn't
styling.
have to be you being the main person. You could be an assistant
Well,
to the
the
assistant.
first, okay, that would have been the shoot that I won the award for, which was for the course now.
Yeah,
So that was like the first sort of thing. If you scroll through my Instagram, like the desert scene kind of
that's why I
stuff.
thought it was Dubai for some reason. Like,
That's
when
why I thought it was Dubai.
No, let me tell you why.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, she's big. She's be traveling around the place.
Let me tell you what happened, right?
Nice.
Let me tell you what happened. I don't even think it's more than just the pictures. In my head, I saw a tag, like geographical tag in Instagram that said Dubai. And I was
Did I put it as Dubai? Like,
I was
don't
like,
think I
oh,
did.
well, she's out there, and this is like her first set of images. So
Nah.
that's why I was like, oh,
Nah,
well,
I wish
like,
I was over there like that.
so that's why.
But
The only reason I was like, oh, well, she was in Dubai. I was like, well, why doesn't she travel more? Like, why am I not seeing her always out? I was
you
like,
you sponsoring me? Like, I love how you was asking me
No,
how
I
come
don't
I
know.
ain't
I'm just
traveling.
saying, if your first set of images is Dubai,
Well, like, you think I'm gonna run out all my money?
there's no tag.
No geotags on any of them.
That was like,
I'm not kidding you. I can't.
I don't know. I don't know if somebody reposted and tag it as Dubai. I don't know.
I'm literally thinking about it right now, and I can't.
I do not
unsee
know.
Dubai, a location.
I have no.
So that's why I was like, oh, well, that's why I
Idea.
thought you went to Dubai.
Boy, I wish. Boy, you need to hook me up so I could go to Dubai, but.
Well, I haven't been shipped out the country as yet.
Mm.
Have you been shipped out the country to work?
Have I been shipped out? No, gosh, nah.
yeah,
gosh.
somebody went like, oh yeah, Renelle, we want you so much. You know, just
I
come
love
to
that. I would love that.
come to Grenada and do a little styling show
So
or something.
the France thing, that was all you, and they was like, yeah.
That was just teaching, I think.
No, even so, they didn't
No,
pay
it
for
was just
anything.
teaching.
They just say, here's the opportunity. Find your way.
Well, okay, like it was like a program with UE, like UE kind of they
Like a transfer
UE
program?
and not really a transfer, right? It was like UE and like Alliance Francaise, and they kind of what they do is they kind of have a link up thing that they kind of put you into the system, but you kind of had to pay, but like you're getting paid when you go there, like it's a job. So it's like you're teaching assistant, but you're getting a salary. So like that was. But but you know it's not no big sort of money you have to have. Well, you have to have the.
It's just living money here that point.
You have
What
to-
is not a big set of money? I don't know what that is.
Why you?
Because you're
what-
getting paid in French coins.
That is not.
I don't know what is
Euros.
French
Yeah.
coins. Can't change my
Yeah.
mind.
But like I mean, it's not
the
like
money
they're
is
not
wherever it is country wise.
Yeah.
So French coins, Italian coins, you know, it could be the same thing. it's French coins.
Lol. But
No,
yeah,
I just trying to mind your business. I don't know what
you're always trying to mind.
I don't know what
people's-
living standards is in that country. I know what living standards is kind of in Trinidad and Tobago.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're asking me.
No, you said you wasn't making like a bunch of money.
No, like I was told, like I said, it was like a. It wasn't like. What was it? It's not like you had to be like. The outlay of money was not as much as you would have had. Like, even if you had to pay your way, you had to pay to like get there. But once
Yeah.
you get there, you're getting paid. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? So.
But living expenses is like what?
God, I can't remember.
Like, I
Like,
don't know what the money is like for
I
food
can't
and
remember
for.
like. I was renting a room in like a kind of
They hook you up with the room, or you have to find your own room?
like they kind of put you in touch with like
People.
a teacher like who was at the school where I was assistant.
Okay.
So like they were kind of helping me find a place and stuff like that and that kind of stuff. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
But no fire food.
Hmm?
It's like, so no company has like flown you. I was like, hey, wait, I had you.
She said no, like
No, like I don't understand
She's like,
why Miss
you know
Anna
something
Winter
that I don't know?
at Vogue can't like fly me out. Why Ib Kamara at Days can't come and fly me out for a little something?
Eat
I
what?
find so.
What would you say? Eat what?
Ib Kamara. He's a stylist.
Oh,
He's like editor-in-chief for Days. I don't know.
Days
I just,
magazine?
yeah.
Okay, I know.
Love him.
I know some of those words.
Yeah, I love that you know those words. That's great.
Yeah, I know. Let me tell you how I know. Because I have a picture of my phone and I
Mm.
sent it to someone as a shoot idea.
Spicy,
think it's Days.
spicy.
Dazed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spicy,
So that's how I
spicy.
knew. I knew about them before, but that picture was just like right there in my mind.
Nice.
And,
Living rent free in your head.
Yeah, so I guess you kind of talked about how you got into styling.
Yeah.
You spoke about, I guess, how you wasn't taking it as serious. How come you weren't taking it as serious in the beginning?
I was taking it serious, but internally, you know. So
Okay.
basically, I just beating myself up every day for not doing it.
Okay,
That's what was happening.
all right.
It's just like it kind of sometimes you didn't really know what to do, where to go, what direction to take. And I say, you know what, it's just try something and do something. Because
Yeah.
if you don't do it now, when you're going to do it? I was
Yeah.
like, yesterday I said tomorrow.
So you were thinking about it more of like, I don't really know how to do this or what to do, so that's why you're beating yourself up of.
Yeah, and I was like, such a
And then the day would
perfectionist.
end and you're like, oh yeah, I didn't really do anything in there. I just thought about what I didn't do
Yes.
or how I could do this or figuring out.
And like I
Oh,
was
okay.
doing more research into like how,
Research is a
Styling.
killer, you know. I realize that.
in what way?
And like sometimes it's just not even good to just like yes, it's good to just do a light research
Mm-hmm.
just to see how things operate. But other than that, you do your light research and you just jump.
Yeah.
Cause I did that with photography a lot. I watched so much videos on YouTube, on editing, on cameras, on all these things, and I was like, yo, 2 months passed, and I like was on YouTube every day. I didn't do anything with my camera. I was like, you know what? Let me just not watch YouTube for a little bit. Let me
True.
just actually just message people. And then my days
100%.
came to just messaging people every day, hoping to get a response. I had a book list of like 5 pages filled with Instagram accounts and emails, and I'm messaging people, and I'm like, okay, I'm not really getting like a big
But-
response, but I'm still getting some kind of response.
But
But-
like, had you done shoots at that point in time?
I would have done more just like asking friends of like, oh yeah, you're a model for me, just so that I could show it, oh yeah, this is
Okay.
what my work would look like. So
But
that's why I
you-
asked, because as a photographer, I could always just ask a friend to be like, oh yeah, you're a model for me, the clothes don't really have to be the greatest, but once I get the editing on point, is
Show
good,
what you
people
can
go
do.
and make it be like, okay. But like as
Yeah.
a stylist, it's like, if you don't really know how to do the greatest pictures, people kind of gonna, yes, they're gonna watch your styling, but it also has to do with like a little overall
Compliment.
image feel, like you need to compliment each other. So
Yeah.
like, how do you get yourself out there like that? I guess how have you been getting yourself out there?
Honestly, I think because I was the kind of person who kind of operates well in structure. Then you know what I mean. Like if I have like, okay, this is what you have to do. This that kind of list.
Yeah.
Like
You can follow that guy.
yes, so that was good for me in terms of like, because if I didn't do that course, I probably would have been still like beating myself up about like, oh, why not styling? Why not doing anything?
yeah.
But like you know, and then when you're a perfectionist too, you're like, I have to have every single thing lined up in exactly the right way, and you know, life is never like that.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah. So because I was able to do that shoot and I executed it well, I was like, okay, well I could do things, right? I could do things. So like, let me do more things, and I started to do more shoots, and I was doing, you know, just my personal shoots or whatever.
yeah.
And
Would it be
Yeah,
a lot
that's
more of you reaching out or people reaching out to you?
I think sometimes it's a bit of both. Like if I like something, I like a particular model or something, I would like, hey, I like your work. You want to shoot some now? And we're like, yeah, I bet. And you know, it kind of work out like that, you know. And you just talk to people and
How is
reach
it
out.
more like? How is it now? Is it more of you reaching out, or people reaching out to you, or is it more style camp stuff going on?
It's style camp stuff going on. It's also me kind of taking stock and trying to figure out, okay, how do I move to the next level? Reaching out to people and you
Next
know
level
just
as in what? Like actually the styling itself, or
next
next
level in
level as
terms
in
of
what way?
getting the kind of jobs I want to get. You know,
What kind of jobs you want to get?
jobs.
Okay.
But like no, like yeah, like even like more commercial work as well. Even though I
Like
do,
with I know I'm cutting you off, but you continue. My bad.
but yeah, like commercial work would be like for like ads and stuff like that. Because how styling works is that like your editorial doesn't make as much money really, but like the creative work kind of helps to give people an idea what you can do for like a commercial setting. So if it is you want to do an ad for like say Carib or something, you like they will probably like look at your work that you would have done as creative work or whatever, even though you're probably just gonna put somebody in like a jersey, a bikini and like you know, but it seems simple but it isn't, you know what I mean? But at least your creative work helps to kind of show people where your head is at and what you can do and what you can execute. So
Yeah, I know. I was just scrolling through Instagram and I was gonna ask you about something you posted.
Oh,
But
yeah, I
Jabari
forgot
has
that.
something. Now you go through because
This-
it's fresh in my. Don't worry, it's there.
No, but this might be a long topic, so I don't know if you want to.
Oh, I just want to know. Well, mine might be a long one too, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think.
just write it down.
No, like it's there. As soon as I unlock my phone, it's
Okay.
like there.
No, I was going to ask about. I don't even know. We'll see if we can talk about this. But the Fashion Focus magazine thing, right? I wanted to know.
She doesn't know. She knows no information. She knows as much as we know.
I was just going to ask how
Oh.
that came about. That's
Oh,
all. That's all it was going to
she
be.
works with Kyron a lot.
Okay.
He knows Kyron because you on the shoot there with Candy, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
okay, so basically
That's it.
what I during the Panini now, I saw that Kyron Newton, the stylist, he had put out a call for intern. I was like, okay, bet.
You know, I had
finna be an
messaged them
intern.
too. I almost had your job, you know. Like I was.
To do what?
You mean to do
To
what?
style what?
You don't know that. You don't know.
I
You
don't know.
what I'm
But yeah, he was
capable of?
taking photography
You
interns
know what I'm
as
capable
well.
of? It wasn't
He was
styling, but it was
taking-
definitely photography.
Yes, I know.
I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, I done bad. Help me out. Help me out. I want to be up good."
Mm.
Yeah, that was it. But I could have done a styling. I could have just learned.
Yeah, I mean, everything's a
As
learning
my friend
opportunity. Yeah.
Damien says, YouTube University.
Yeah, YouTube University.
Yeah. And it's probably not that simple, but you know,
Mm. But
I'm
like,
taking away from your years of studying and
yeah, the toiling, the
How do you feel
struggles in the
about that?
trenches.
like people who, I guess, more in the fashion industry, they don't have like the formal education, but they're bigger.
It's who could do the job. That's all
Okay.
about, you know.
Because sometimes I
I
think
do
about
feel
that,
the
right?
type of way, like,
Because I'll tell you my scenario in a while of like let me say Virgil, right? He's known, yes, he was popular, he knew the culture, everything like that. Like people just knew of him from Pyrex, right? But like you as a designer or person who like study designing and sewing and all them kind of thing and textiles, all of that, right? You study this thing and come to work for somebody who, yes, they might know a lot about it, but they have like no formal education. I would kind of feel a type of way about
first
it.
of all,
But that's just me though.
formal education is.
It doesn't
good.
matter, but
It's
I'm just
impor-
saying that.
I mean, it's good, but it's not the be all and end all of everything.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have, honestly, in the fashion and the creative art, like, nobody really cares if you went to school for it, to be very honest. Nobody really cares. It's can you execute, can you do the work? Nobody really says, oh, this person didn't go to fashion. Like, it kind of like nobody really does it. Especially with styling.
No, I'm just saying me as a worker, I would
I'm
feel a
just
type of way.
saying
Not really
like-
people.
I don't like, the thing is, to me, I don't have a problem with people like whether they went to school for it or if they didn't go to school for it, but it's understanding the principles. And like you don't necessarily have to go to school to understand certain principles of styling, or proportion, color, all those things. But if it is that, if you're doing good work, you're doing good work. If you're doing bad work, you're doing bad work. Like, that's just what it is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Jabari had asked me something, and like I can't remember what it was.
Talking about Chiron and-
Yes, because we keep derailing. So yeah, because over the pandemic, Kyron had put out a call for interns, and I like took up the opportunity. So I was working with him and assisting him on like music videos and different shoots that he was on. And then I think what happened was he got appointed as editor-in-chief of Fashion Focus, and he was like, okay, so like they needed contributors and whatnot. So he had brought me and other interns on board to do work with them for the magazine. So yeah.
Oh, I thought his question had more to it. That was it?
In a
Oh.
sense. But yeah, what was your question, Jabari? Because Jabari, you had some other question. supposed to be like,
what
if it
was
was in your phone.
more-
It was in your phone. Unlock your phone, please.
No, well, it's two. It's a two-part thing.
Oh gosh.
What was like your biggest learning lesson as like a stylist? As to like, wow, I never learned this in school.
I think
Like
it was
on the field.
in the field, boy.
Yeah, not in school.
Is
In school, anybody could just like go there and
what's
figure
the
it out.
learning lesson? That is really about relationships and people. The job is a lot of peopling. You know?
Okay.
Like, you have to be interacting with people all the time and talking to people. And as an introverted person, like, at first I was like, if I had known this would involve so much of people, I might not have done it.
I would not
But
have
I
thought that,
really love it.
because I came to the Mickle shoots and you were like fine. Like I just felt like I was like, oh,
Okay.
I know this woman from a long time.
Well, technically, I'm more of an ambivert. So I'm like an extroverted introvert.
Okay. You need
But
to recharge. That's what you're saying, right?
yeah, I need to recharge.
Yeah.
But like, I like people. But like, if I had realized, like, you realize how much of it is very collaborative. So like, the stylist has to work with the photographer, has to work with the lighting people, has to work with the designer, has to work with all these layers and layers of people. And meanwhile, me at like 14 in school was like, fire outfit, yes. Put outfit together, like it's lit. And you realize how much of people it has to happen. And like, how much of it is just about being able to communicate with people and talk to them and respond like, hey, you know how you approach people to like ask them to borrow clothes or whatever, ting.
Yeah.
All of that is what it is. Like the people in aspect of it is what I think I didn't really learn in school per se, and it was very important for me
Yeah.
in the
Has
field.
anyone ever gotten like loud at you? Designers
Loud at
wide?
me?
I don't know. Or did you even on a shoot? And how
no,
does
I'm
that
not sure. Nobody
situation?
ever really loud me up, you know.
Or maybe
it's
like
just-
with a designer, just like bringing back clothes and like something wrong with it, or I don't know.
No, I never really had any kind of instances like that.
Okay.
Not really. More or less, most people have been generally nice.
Alright.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to know. I just feel like there's always some kind of story somewhere. I don't know. I was just asking. But I really wanted to know about the gallery series, how that came about. How was
that came
planning
about?
for that? Was it stressful? Was it? If you
Well,
don't know the gallery
I am always
series from
stressed, first of
her,
all.
it's on her Instagram page. It's
Yeah.
with you obviously stylist.
Gang.
Photographer was Luigi,
Mm.
and then you had Jan Help, right?
The-
And that was it.
the
Yeah, with the durag, and then
Yeah, Tiffany was
Tiffany was the model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How that came about. So that was living in my head for like a year or 2 years before that actually ended up shooting.
They write down stuff like this. Or was it just like
Sometimes.
actually just living in your head? Like I
Rent
remember it
free.
one day, I forget it next month. Oh yeah, I'm
Nah,
supposed to do this.
I usually write it down somewhere, and like I just be it's just be there flipping through my head, and I was like rolling around, or whatever. But like, but I was like, okay, I need to actually do this. Somebody had reached out to me from. Initially, it's supposed to be for Coblenz Corner, but they're not sure if it will actually be going up on the website because they have some kind of situation going on with them.
Yeah.
So they had told me like, hey, you wanna do a shoot? Do whatever you want, and we go put it up. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, okay, like I think this will be a good opportunity to do that shoot that was living in my head for the entire time. So what happened with that shoot was that I remember always like you'd go out and you'd see women wearing like the really huge gold Tinkerbell earrings.
Yeah.
And like I always find like it was just interesting, like why Tinkerbell though? Like of all like cartoon characters, like why does Tinkerbell have a grip on the society like this? I just never really knew why. I still don't know why. But like I was just kind of fascinated by it. And I also really like the painting by Johan Vermeer with the girl with a pearl earring.
Yeah,
and then
that was like a swipe, right? At the end.
Yeah. And like I kinda wanted to kinda combine high fashion and what they call like low fashion, or like what people generally consider to be like ghetto or not acceptable fashion. And I just kind of merge those things together. So that was the kind of thinking behind that. And I just kind of, I like juxtaposing like, you know, the ghetto with like the high fashion, and I just love that. I just like.
Wait, what was ghetto about it?
The
The
durag
durag.
and like the big Tinkerbell earring, and like
Some
I just
reason I
like
really
art as well.
Consider that as, I don't know.
But
That's just me though. I
All
guess.
of the people that I've ever seen it on have been kind of what society would kind of stereotype as being ghetto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 'cause it isn't an issue to wear it in your house, but I don't want to say the ghetto-ness. The ghetto-ness comes where when you go outside with it. That's where, because
Okay.
this lady,
Like going
she's
outside with like
acted as an
the.
auntie and everything. I can't remember her name, but she was talking about girls who wear their bonnets outside. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. If it's like
Taraji, was it Taraji talking about?
if it's like
Bonnet,
going outside with
like
your bonnet
durags.
on and it's seen as like a.
Yeah.
Yo, you can only like organize it here before. you left
Yeah,
the
and
house,
like all
or-
the different things about like notions of respectability and what is good, what is acceptable. And it's like also you always see on like in the media it'll be like they'll tell you, oh, you can't wear cane rolls, that's not a professional hairstyle, that's not acceptable. And then it's like Kim Kardashian will wear it and they call it boxer braids, and it's like, what is that? Monique, right? Yes. Yeah. So like there's these whole notions of what people should and shouldn't wear, and I was just like, what about if we didn't take on that and let's just do whatever the hell we want? And that's what I kind of did.
In my
with
head,
that.
what I
Shoot.
think about, right, is that society is like this because of the people. Don't laugh, right? This is a very serious topic, right? I was just thinking about it. That yes, there is a lot of shame on things, and things are seen like this because of the higher ups.
Mm.
And I just like, well, the youth are trying to change that, right? I say we just deal with it for now, and the higher ups have to die at some point, and then it's just us. We run things. I could be wrong, I could be bad for my thinking, but I just saying that's just me. Natural selection, you gotta go at some point.
Yeah, I mean
And
things
then at
always
that point,
evolve.
then you're like, oh yeah, we could take over now. This is, we running the show here,
Yeah.
you know. And it's just to fight it out and just be like, yeah, you could talk your talk, but uncle, you cracking, you cracking 90s and
Yeah.
it didn't
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
young. I just saying that was me. That was just my thinking though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just like, I don't know. It wasn't necessarily. It was kind of meant to be a commentary. It was kind of not meant to be a commentary. It was just kind
Why
of
you
like,
added pixels things? Like you added like 1080 by.
because like
That threw me off so much.
really
I was like, where am I?
because like you know when you have like an art piece displayed in a gallery, they usually put the size of it.
Okay, so
And
you
because
could
I was
understand.
using Instagram as my gallery,
Oh, that makes so
I
much
put
sense.
it
I was
there.
like,
I
for some reason I don't get this, and it was just throwing me off because I'm reading and I just see 1080 pixels by 3 something. I'm like, what is going
Lol.
on? What is this hinting towards?
Actually, the first person to ask me
But it
about
makes
that.
sense. Like if you're selling art piece online and taking a picture, you could be like, oh yeah, 24 inches by 2 inches
Yeah.
or whatever, you
Yeah.
know. That that makes so much more sense now. Thank you for
I'm
clearing
glad.
that
I'm
up.
just glad you could sleep better.
I
now.
probably would have like that. That kept me up last night. I was up
I
at
am
like 2
so
o'clock in the
sorry. I'm
morning. I was
sorry
like,
that
wow,
happened to you.
Renelle really posted this thing, and I just can't figure it out. I was trying to crack the code. I thought
Yeah.
it was like a cicada type of coding thing. You know what that is?
No idea.
You don't know what cicada is?
That's not like those things that's like chirping.
Nah, nah.
There's actually like
No, but it's-
there's a online, I don't want to say community, but a group.
It's basically some random person came up with this thing called Cicada 309 or something like that. I think it is.
Okay.
And it's just a bunch of codes like how you would code a website,
Mhm.
and it's a puzzle.
Yeah, and a group of people.
Have you
just
seen Blind
trying
Spot?
to-
What?
Have you seen Blind Spot with the
No.
girl with the tattoos?
I have no. I don't see. I don't watch anything.
Was like a
My
good
eyes
quiz
closed,
show
you know.
that like I could relate it to. Like I can't just think of trying to crack a bunch of codes and quizzes
Right.
to find some
Okay.
very probably intense information.
I bet it probably not. I bet it probably doesn't even say anything.
Huh?
It probably doesn't even say anything.
Well, you need to crack the codes to figure it out.
I
at
mean,
the
yeah,
end.
but like he just probably be like, got him. Or, like these nuts.
It could be, but it's actually a lot of time and effort you have to go into that. I feel like there's some kind of end to it.
Has anyone even cracked it?
No, I don't think anyone has cracked it, but I was just
But,
saying
like,
that.
it had
Wow.
a group of people who would like, sorry. It had a group of people who would like dedicated to
Yeah.
with doing this.
But
thing.
it's died down for sure.
Okay.
What-
Well, learned something today.
Jumping back to the topic,
Yeah.
who do you like draw your inspiration from?
Inspiration.
Or who would you want to work with at some point?
Oh, okay.
Could be
Inspiration.
company or model wise, or photographer wise.
I know.
Give me one of each.
I know. Inspiration wise.
What day were you born? What time exactly?
Gosh, what happened to
What
you?
hospital?
Red flag. Red flags. Red flags.
Asking too much.
I was there start to ask what day you're born and what time you're born.
I was born on a Wednesday.
Toxic.
Does it-
Anyway,
Inspiration, yeah?
inspiration, right? Like, I don't know. What am I inspired by? Like, just
Breathing.
anything. Like, all kinds of things. Like, pipers in the road. Like, sometimes sometimes
Yeah,
low
shut it
key, pipers just have real fire outfits. Like, do even trip. Like,
Somebody ripped jeans. Oh, they just have the custom ripped jeans.
yeah, like all kind of different things. Like,
Okay.
cause like there's this woman. She used to be like the editor in chief of like Harper's Bazaar and like Vogue and so. Diane Vreeland, and she always used to say, "The eye has to travel," and I just kind of believe in that. Not that you have to like necessarily like hop on a plane to Dubai, even though if Jabari was sponsoring me, I would love that. But like just
Nah, I'll probably just go to Tobago first.
maybe all that good.
Just dip my pinky toe in the water and that's it.
Yeah, but like just being able to like see different things and look at different things. Just look at them and really see things and see the colors and be exposed to different things. Your
That's probably
mind is
why
a
I
lot
just want to
richer.
travel, you know. I think I just want to travel just to see how people dress.
No,
That's
but I
like
feel
my
it,
biggest thing. I'm just like, I just want to see what people wear and then bring that back and make like some cool designs and just be like, oh yeah, this is, it is
and
what it
even
is.
like clothes, like you can't even just limit it to clothes. It's just like about just looking
No,
at
just
things.
clothes, buildings,
Everything, like,
people's interaction.
but no.
interactions.
But
It's
like,
just cool. At least one time I want to go to like some foreign, not Caribbean though, like some international, France, Italy. I saw Damien did a vlog with Naomi, that random place where they like had to, what do you call that in the boat and they have the paddles?
Venice?
No, just the regular
Ven-
activity of being in a boat and paddling,
Canoeing?
kayaking or canoeing. They had to like canoe or kayak to some
It was
place.
a very long boat, kayak, very skinny boat. and
No, I
two
think it was
sides.
just one of them at a time. So I think it was kayaking.
No,
but yeah.
kayaking is two sides like that.
Yeah, it was definitely that.
I
I want to go there, wherever that
Mhm.
place was. It was nice.
yeah, like I mean, like my inspiration is just really like, just from just seeing things around me and other stuff. So like, the eye has to travel. Just you have to be looking at things, and even where you are, even if you're not going or traveling anywhere, you have to just kind of be awake and alive to the world around you, and that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
And just
Do you judge people
that. I mean, do you judge people?
on how they dress because you're so into fashion and stuff?
Yeah, like someone is walking down the road and you're like,
Like if you see me in the road walking like this,
oh, stripes and
what do you
and
think of?
polka dots? What are you doing?
I mean, like everybody always has an opinion about anything that they see or whatever.
It doesn't
Anybody
my question, but in
judging.
a very nice way. I just want
But
to
I
know
mean,
if you-
everybody has opinions. Like, some, like, I would say outfit like that's not a nice outfit, but
What is
if-
a red flag outfit for you?
got a red flag outfit.
When I say red flag, I mean like
Run.
When you say
it
red
doesn't
flag,
matter how
when you say
good
red
look,
flag, as in like the
as in
person
it doesn't
toxic.
matter how good looking the person is. Do not approach me in this clothes.
God, I don't know this.
Like
one.
red flag isn't that bad.
It really kind of. What is a red flag outfit? Boy? It's not a red flag outfit, but it's just a bad outfit. It's like it's not going to do like a striped polo shirt and like a plaid cargo pants. That's just kind of
They
upset
make
me.
plaid cargo pants.
Yes,
I can't
the
even-
cargo shorts, like it is just fret me.
Oh, one of those. What are you looking at?
I love
Why
how like,
everybody watch in my closet direction?
I don't
what was that
know.
about?
if you started to.
What
You look at the closet. You look
what
at
you
your
trying to
own
get into?
closet. You look at your own closet. So
What-
I don't know.
What you trying to get into?
Anyways.
Lol. But yeah, like I can't say like categorically. It's like a red flag. It has so many, yeah. But
I mean, like a top 3.
top 3 red flag outfits, boy.
So we have one.
Stripes, polo jersey, and
What's wrong with cargo
Cargo
pants? But do you just not like cargo pants on a whole?
It's not. I don't like cargo pants. I don't like cargo shorts. Cargo shorts specifically, like the
Oh, yeah,
cargo
'cause
shorts.
cargo long pants is nice. Once you
It
Depend.
makes sense.
Once
you
it
can play it well for sure.
Yeah, it could make sense.
it could do Crocs if it is you're not like a toddler or like working in the service industry or like
As a nurse.
yeah or like as a nurse or something like I just
But
say
I just
Crocs.
heard it's very comfortable though.
Yeah.
I know I've heard that they're very
Like
comfortable.
even if like
you can't be so comfortable. That's
I
like
might wear
being
it for a
naked.
shoot though. If I'm being completely honest,
What?
I might wear it for a shoot. I just heard it's so comfortable. Like if a nurse and stuff could be in it whole day.
John bought 2. Well, my dad bought John.
Like it,
Yeah.
if
John
a nurse
asked my
could
dad
be in
to
it
get
whole
2.
day, why can't I be comfortable and
Because there's a certain amount of comfort that you have to like
But I
give
feel
up
like
to
I
be in public.
no? But hear me out, right? I saw a cream Crocs, red stripe, all the way around, and then a
Mhm.
red stripe on the strap.
Oh, with a red stripe?
It had like a red stripe,
Uh-huh.
like okay, like
And
the
like a red
soling
strap.
of here
Uh-huh.
was all the way around, and then the strap with the Crocs on it, it had like a red stripe.
Sport mode.
Oh.
Yeah, but it
Oh.
was cream.
It
And I
could
was like,
still go in
oh.
the trash. I really do business. I just don't like Crocs. I mean, I know people have to wear it because of whatever, but I'm just aesthetically opposed to Crocs. It is what it is. I just
Do you watch sneakers? Is that like a big thing for you? or
do I
no?
wear sneakers?
No, watch. Like, do you watch someone's sneakers and it's like,
I mean, I feel like
or is it more like an overall look?
it's as I watch everything like sneakers. I mean, I'm not that much of a sneakerhead. Also, sometimes I feel like sneakerheadism could also be a red flag sometimes, but that's another story for another time.
Yeah, of course. Of
But
course.
yeah, some people could get too lost in the sauce now, and
Mm.
they just
Mm-hmm.
their whole life is just
Mhm.
sneaker.
I feel like it's okay to be a big sneakerhead once you have a couple sneakers.
I
Like
don't-
you need to be in the
I
game,
don't
you know.
I feel like sometimes we're moving away from sneakers as a society, and we're moving
We
towards.
definitely not.
Yeah, I
to
think
where?
we're moving towards like
You said Tom?
dress shoes. No, I did not say
Oh.
Tom.
Nuts. 2 nuts.
Oh, I heard Tom's. I was like, what are you
Oh,
on?
you reached Tom's.
Oh, okay.
That's. But then
Dress
again, the
shoes are-
2010s coming back, so you never know it. Tom's
nah,
might
dress shoes is not
actually
for me. It's
make
just
a come
they
back,
don't
but
fit my body well.
I don't know. I feel like we kind of gonna move away from like the sneaker thing and kind of a bit more back towards the kind of dressier shoes like loafers and stuff like that.
I hate loafers so much.
That is terrible.
Loafers is the
I'm,
one
I'm,
that's
I'm
like
picking
cut,
up my things and leaving immediately.
loafers is the one that's like cut off like halfway of your foot, right?
Yeah, but I think you have to.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
No.
That is loafers. Let me tell
classy.
you, loafers are just meant for dark-skinned uncles in suits
Because
That's
you
it.
don't know how to style it because
With
you're not styling it
fedoras,
properly.
with fedoras.
Because
That's
you're
it.
not styling it properly.
I don't want to hit no.
But I know, I
You
guess
cannot
you.
change my mind. Because I saw a dark skinned man wear it and I was like, I could never be like that. I'ma just relax myself.
What does skin tone have nothing to do with loafers anyway?
No, he just looked so good in it and I was like, I could never compare.
I think it's just different point in your life. I feel
His
like
skin
you're in a
colour had
sneaker.
nothing to do
You're in a
with it.
sneaker point in
The
your
guy
life.
just looked no. I don't think it's
I
never
feel like you're
been
in a
a
sneaker
dress thing.
phase.
I've
I
never
feel like
been
you're
a
in a
dress
sneaker
thing.
phase right now.
No, it was never a phase since I was small.
No, I think
I
you're in
just wore them just to go to
we'll
church.
see
and
in
that
a
was
couple
it.
of years, don't worry.
No, definitely not. It needs to have a sneaker finish.
Yeah,
But I
when
was
the
just
birds
saying-
when the birds whisper something to you, you will see. But anyway.
Definitely no. Mm-mm.
So I have a question. Do you think people get stylist and designer mixed up all the time? And how does that make you feel? Or is it just like people are people?
Where's my phone?
So people mix them up all the time because let's just say, once you're working in fashion, you do something in fashion. All say is make clothes, and everybody like they're getting ready to like thin like a skirt to him.
Hear me out, right? Hear me out. I feel like to be a stylist, you have to slightly be a designer because you're always altering something. I don't know. Okay, maybe I said
think-
that wrong.
I think it may be more.
I
of a-
said it completely wrong, but I feel like any stylist I see,
Has to have some fashion design capability.
yeah, they've always done like some kind of fashion designing capabilities, or like they altering the clothes, or like they had a vision of something and they couldn't find like the piece itself, so they just made it.
Yeah,
Like I see that a lot with
that tends
Kezia.
to
I see that a
happen.
lot with what's this lady's name? With Brown Cotton Caribbean.
Rasan, yeah.
Rizan, she does a lot. But
Well,
it's like
I think.
I can't really find these pieces, so I just make it.
Well, what are the like? Okay, so I don't think
Change my mind though. I'll just
I
say
don't
it, that's just
think
me.
Kezia makes stuff. I don't believe
I
that
saw
she
her
personally
sewing
makes it.
something.
Maybe I don't know. I
recently.
may be wrong, but
And I
at
was
least
like,
I
oh.
don't remember. Like she doesn't make to the same extent like Rasan would make, because Rasan is
Yeah.
is a designer and a stylist.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So as a stylist, you are more in terms of the overall look of the outfit. The designer would create the pieces of the outfit. Right? So the designer would actually make the garments, the stylist would put the outfit together. So, I mean, because Trinidad is a small place and we don't really have scale to say, technically a lot of jobs in the fashion industry would be kind of separated, but because Trinidad is a small place, a lot of the jobs get kind of collapsed together. Like, so for instance, like fashion buying, like being a fashion buyer is like a job, right? In terms like, so if I have you could be a fashion buyer for like a boutique that stocks multiple brands, or you could be a fashion buyer for a brand like Ralph Lauren or whatever. So like if Ralph Lauren has, they have a store in Port of Spain and they have a store in San Fernando, right? They would have to stock these stores, obviously. So the fashion buyer for like the store in San Fernando would have to know, okay, people buying a lot of socks in the Ralph Lauren store in San Fernando. So we have to buy more socks than like the Port of Spain store because people not buying socks there. You know, those types of things you have to know. So like that would normally be, that's a specialized job. Whereas here in Trinidad, if you own a store, you will be the buyer and you will just be saying, figuring out, okay, what I have to buy. These shirts not selling, don't buy any more of that kind of thing. So a lot of the times in Trinidad, the jobs kind of collapse and merge together. So a lot of designers become stylists and stylists are designers and all of that stuff.
Okay.
I thought he had something.
No. I just was expecting like a kind of. No, I do this specifically. That is them. Don't mix up the two, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you do get mixed up, right? I was like,
People do get mixed up. I did talk to somebody for like 20 minutes explaining exactly like what a stylist does and all is in depth about, I put together the
oh yeah,
outfits
I've been told the story
and
before.
all that. Yeah, because we tried to record this podcast before.
No, a different day, not today.
Yeah.
I definitely remember. It's coming back to me.
Yeah. Well, right. You see,
Yeah.
the cashier clear completely.
I just need a freshers, as the
Yeah.
young people say.
So I did try to like explain that to her, and she's like, also it is so close, and I was like, okay.
You don't get it.
I like it just was
At
not.
that point, the battle is lost.
Yeah, you just had to give up
You so
sometimes.
Yeah. I definitely.
You'll
I
try, like
I do
you'll
that.
try.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, okay, alright. But
At
they are
some
two
point, you don't
different
really
things.
have to, when you get there, you don't
You
really
see, you
have
just
to
have
tell
to-
people anything anymore.
Yeah.
You
you know. No, but like
Yeah.
people know you anyway, so
Mhm.
just like I don't really have to tell
Yeah.
you. It's just
But
like
the
you
thing
know
is,
what I do.
you know, as a stylist too, like you would have relationships with designers so that if somebody comes to you and they want something, or you could try to get something custom for them made, you understand? So it's, you know, there's this thing where everybody, like, it kind of, everybody ends up doing a little bit of everything and whatnot. I get that, but, you know, it doesn't always have to be like that, you know?
Okay.
So,
What was your biggest job to date?
biggest job to
I'm just gonna
date.
rapid fire questions.
I think one of the biggest jobs I did was the as assistant Chiron with the Turbulence Rhythm shoot. That was the shoot with it was with Melly Rose, Dev,
That was recently,
Nicole
right?
Tesha. Well, it came out recently, like
Yeah, I saw
like
that
a
video.
month or two
That was
ago.
nice.
Yeah, and that was really cool. It was really fun. Had like fire and stuff, which was like, ooh, yes, the risk of death. But yeah, it was fun.
Oh, I was talking to John and the mask that she made
Mm.
because I think it said mask on or something, like it had
Melly
writing on
Rose,
it,
yeah.
and I asked her like,
Melly Rose.
did somebody use like a Sharpie marker? And she's like, no, I sewed that, and I was like, oh.
You
was
see,
like,
I
well,
don't
it looks
know.
really good. Like I don't know, it
Yes.
just looked like writing. I don't know if it's because of just how it was like a quick.
I think yeah, it was
flash
like
of
a, yeah,
I was like, oh well, it looks like someone wrote it. Like it doesn't look bad. It's just like it just looks like
yeah,
someone actually took time and just like wrote
yeah.
on the mask. And I was like, I don't say it looks bad. It's just saying that
Mm.
it looks like I just saw a Sharpie marker the first time.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that was it.
I think it was really cool. It was like one of the bigger productions. You know, it had like the lighting people and the props people and the special
Yeah.
effects people, and it was really fun. It was a nice
Okay.
shoot.
What was
And
your,
had the paint.
was that your most fun one?
Yeah, I think that was like my most fun one.
Okay, which one was like your most stressful one as to like trying to figure out how you're gonna get this done?
Most stressful was my first shoot that I ever did.
But
That was with
in Dubai.
the fake, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Fubai, you know,
Okay.
fake Dubai. But yeah, that was super stressful, and trying to coordinate all the different, like multiple models and the location, and it was just.
So where was that taken? Because it does not look. I thought, dude.
There's some
That-
sand dunes in Southend. The sand place.
I don't know. You just bring me, and like you know more about my shoe than me. It was actually in. I think it was in Central. It was in Chaguanas. It was a sand pit, a sand lot.
It's like a dirt company, or like it's just
Yeah, like those
dunes,
like a
eh?
hardware, and they were selling like
Yeah,
dirt, and
yeah.
it was like,
I
okay,
know what you're
I
talking
could pose up in your dirt now.
I could
And it
probably
was
show
like,
you a
okay.
place like it, but it's probably not there.
Uh,
But
yeah.
at some point we'll be driving there and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's the place I was talking about.
No,
Yeah.
one of my friends who's also a photographer, he was like, he took a picture and it was in sand. I was like,
Yeah, you just go to those.
I know you ain't leave the country.
You just go to
So
those. those
how you
places.
do this? He was like, dog, I went to a hardware. I see they had a mound of
Yeah,
sand.
they just have sand in the back. Like I don't understand.
I
It's
went in
central
and I asked the
specifically and
manager.
south.
And he was like, I asked the manager, I'm gonna borrow your sand now. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, you ain't teeth in it. They don't really care. It's like
just
oh,
once
yeah,
the sandy meaning there, I'm
you
cool.
do your
now.
thing. Nobody really
Yeah.
cares. They just have like I don't know why they just have sand.
Because if you had to do.
No, but it's
I-
not like a thing like Johnny Q is still considered a hardware. You don't see Johnny Q with a bunch of sand out in the
Well, it
front.
depends on the hardware. Not every hardware will have like
No, but I'm just saying I've
sand
seen it
residue.
a lot more in central and south than
No, well,
in the more populated
it's
areas.
again. Anyways, I don't even know
Oh,
if
you're
this.
right. You're right. The space.
Yeah, I'm not about to say it can get really complicated because if you
You're
construct
gonna get into land management and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. But
All right, time to sleep, Renelle. I'm just joking.
no, it can get really complicated because if you build in a something like the towers in Port of Spain, there ain't nobody went and had a sand on deck.
Okay.
So some companies that would get those projects like that, it don't make sense for them to hold that amount of sand.
Just get it from somebody else.
No, you would go straight to the quarry and be like, hey, I need 500 tons of sand.
Oh,
That's
okay.
exaggerating, but yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
Rapid
What did I
fire
ask you?
questions.
Your biggest shoots, your
Most
your
stressful.
most stressful one,
Hmm.
most I guess favorite model that you've worked with so far.
Favorite model that I've worked with so far. Anike Taylor from my first shoot.
Fubai.
Yeah, in Fubai. she was the bald model.
Right.
The funny thing about that
I
is
think I
that
broke it.
it was like I was this close to not even getting her to shoot
Why not?
because I felt like I was struggling to try and find people like who had the look for the shoot that I wanted to do, right? Because I specifically wanted somebody with like short, bald, dark skin model. And I remember like she was, because she went to UTT too, she was doing design. And like she was walking past, I was sitting down stressing out about my shoot now. And
Yeah.
I was like, I just decided, wait now. Like, Anike,
What was going on?
you're willing to model for me now?
Oh, right.
And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I wasn't sure, because I was like, sometimes you pick somebody to be a model, but you're not sure how they will be able to execute now.
Yeah.
And like, she went and she just completely killed it. And it was just amazing. I was like, okay then. Okay, so this was good because like I was this close to not asking her because like, I didn't talk to her like that. The photographer is Mark Shangi. He's based in Tobago. I'm a cousin, big up Mark.
Okay.
A real one,
How does
always.
that Tobago photography life go?
I don't want to ask that.
You know how that's for Tobago photography? I can do this. Don't have
Sorry,
cameras in Tobago. Like, why is going like?
No, not that. It just feels like a very small place, and I just don't know how work goes down
I
in
don't know.
Tobago.
I don't be
Like, I'm so
photographing.
confused
Yeah.
on Tobago. Like, I can't even understand how they have a different accent does. Like, it's that bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah.
how it works.
So, question, right? Being in the
Jabari took my filter.
yeah, because he was doing the most.
I keep beating up the mic.
Yeah, but I would assume that you have some general knowledge of the I want to say creative scene in Trinidad, right? But something like Tobago, right? In my head, I'm like, I don't know no stylist. It has stylists in Tobago? Yeah. Of course,
Well,
no.
Are you not a designer?
What?
When you went to Big One, you met someone. They're a designer, right?
No,
What do they do? They're not us.
they're more of a model than anything else. They would model for brands.
Okay.
Yeah. Hence the reason they asked me to take pictures of them.
Or he went to Tobago, and he went to Tobago with his friends.
Just to
And just a random girl just asked him to take pictures of them.
yeah.
No, but you see when your name is Jabari Matthew,
Whoa.
you get those kinds of opportunities. Me,
Anyways.
I have to work. I have to work
So like
hard
she was like
to prove myself.
because I don't know the thing that I was telling you about, like they were looking for stylists, and I'm like, I'm sure it have stylists in Tobago. Just I do not know any stylists in Tobago.
Yeah.
So for you being more in the scene, right? What is Tobago looking like? Because we clearly have no
do you
idea.
know of any?
Yeah.
Alright, so I know of
Keylon.
Keylon Whitlock, Keys Studios, KEYZ.
Yeah, I know of them.
He's from Tobago. I think
he's a stylist.
yeah, he's a stylist.
And
No, I
set
think he's a
design.
stylist,
No, there's
yeah,
a
he's
bunch
a
of things.
stylist.
I think that's like a group
I think
of
he
people,
probably
right?
does.
It's photography, set design, like it's.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just him alone who does it, but I don't know. I know he is a stylist. I know him for sure. I can't say any more off the top right now, but into the Tobago, as I seen, like, I don't really know because the reason I know Mark from Tobago is because that's
Your
my
cousin.
cousin. So, but I know Risan was based in Tobago for a while.
Yeah. I think she is, right?
I
Like
know.
she still has a. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think she is. But she's just always here.
No, I think I don't know. I think she. I don't know. I think she.
She's
in
always
Grenada
traveling
now
too.
or
So I'm just like,
something. I don't
oh,
think
you
she
just
in
kind of.
All over.
You just like all over the place.
She doing what she had to do. She living she best life. Risan is just her boss. I love Risan. But in terms of Tobago, the whole scene in Tobago, I can't really speak to the scene in Tobago because I don't really be there like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Back on my rapid fire questions. Is there anything that you regretted, or wish you could have done on a shoot? Like regretted
a
you didn't do
shoot.
this thing. Like you could have experimented with this thing. And what was it? Because I do
I
that
feel like I
sometimes with
have.
shoots. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I did the pictures. I like them. Oh, but what if I did this?
I
was
feel
just
like
too scared to
I've
ask.
had moments like that, but like I just trying to not overthink and not live in regret and just kind of take the lesson and move forward with it. It's just about like I don't know, like I don't really overthink it so much anymore, you know. Like I used to be like that, but then I just used to I just move past it really.
Okay.
I just kind of like, okay, I did what I could have done. I did the best I could do given the situation, and yeah.
All right. And oh, I had the question. What was like your favorite look that you made?
Favorite look? God, that's my favorite look.
Those rapid fire questions.
I know, but I can't fire rapidly.
You're thinking too deep.
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't have one?
I have a favorite look. I think.
Favorite
would
designer
say
to work with?
I just you keep changing it because you can't just change your question.
Okay, my bad.
You're like, okay, so my favorite look.
I don't know as I can answer, so I just went with it after.
So my favorite look would probably be from the gallery series with the durag probably. I think just offer the impact of it, and also like not just the one where like the durag is like whooshing in the wind, but also the one which is like a kind of direct replica of the girl with a pool earring. I just feel like everybody was in their bag with that one. Like Luigi was in his bag, Tiffany. Everybody just understood the assignment and they did what they had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite designer to work with?
Favorite designers I work
if
with?
If you like it, one that you could just probably just pull clothes from anytime, any like.
I'll say, boy. I trying to. I hear these things but like as soon as like you ask me the question, like I can't remember anything. Like I just go blank sometimes.
Alright, favorite.
But one of my favorites I to work with was like
I was ready with a different question.
Was Hideout.
Yeah.
Hideout clothing. The guys, they're really cool, and I find they have really good.
I just remember I gave them a shirt. We gave them a shirt, right?
Yeah, we did. Oh yes, we did.
Yeah, I will back my returns on that actually. He making Italian coin. How about my return? Jeez, I had it. Favorite type of accessory right now?
My favorite type of accessory?
Yeah. Okay. Or like if you could just choose one, if it would just be earrings, chains, rings, bracelets.
I don't know, like okay, I can't choose one, right? Because choosing one is just
your favorite right now.
Favorite right now, I really into bucket hats, even though I didn't really like bucket hats initially, but like they kind of grew on me, so I do like bucket hats.
Yeah.
Rings as well. More of a ring person.
Yeah.
Now than before, but yeah, those rings.
Would you ever not have your hair flat ironed?
Flat ironed.
I think about this all the time.
Relax. Probably at some point.
I always just think about this. I'm just waiting for the day to I just see you come out.
Keep
with
waiting
curls.
for the day when it came to Dubai now. You'll organize now. I don't have a car and you look for the Dubai now.
All right, sure. We'll see how the bank account looking at that point. Favorite
hand gesture.
Designer clothing.
Favorite designer clothing? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Did you own any designer clothing?
Designer like
Louis Vuitton?
Real designer.
Or
designer.
Was another name that I could just say like in a funny way?
I don't know.
It's fine.
Favorite designer, I think
your
I have a couple.
You would want to own.
Oof. Tough. I do like
money.
Balenciaga, I wouldn't lie.
That's disgusting,
I like
actually. Don't do that.
Ralph Lauren. What?
I said that's disgusting. I could only think of the big shoes. But they
Yeah,
probably do have
They
good...
have other things.
They have
but you
other
don't even
things.
look at the couture.
But all I think about...
Have you seen Kim
You leave me alone,
lately?
right?
No, saying.
You are my co-host.
No, saying. I was agreeing with you, sir.
Yeah, the sock shoes and the big shoes is not
shoe
it. But I know they have
Judging them
jackets
based on,
and
I
they have
like
shirts.
Balenciaga because of like how Demna is just very tongue-in-cheek and very funny. Like he has a sense of humor about it, but at the same time it's also kind of... It's still very... A lot of the pieces that they would have designed for like Kim and stuff I found really classy and stuff like that, so I really like that. I like Balenciaga, I like Ralph Lauren.
So if you had unlimited money, your first piece would probably be a Balenciaga piece?
I don't know if it would be a first piece. First piece would probably be Ralph Lauren because of just the... I don't need nostalgia because I just really love...
Off-White something. It has to be like it has to.
I feel like Off-White is a kind of...
I don't want to hear anything. This is a slander zone for Off-White.
I don't really care. But I'm gonna say what I had to say anyway.
Right.
But like I feel like Off-White is not bad, it's just
mainly the shoes.
It's just hype. It kinda hype.
Not even that, it's just the shoes.
I don't know. They have cool pieces. I'm not saying no. They do have cool pieces. I
I
just feel like
thought
it's like they like Off-White has a grip on
Yes, it has
men generally.
It has a grip on
Like-
the culture, for sure.
It has a grip, and like some of it is good. It is good, and
Some
it's
of
bad.
it is bad.
Some of it
So
is.
I can agree with that.
Like the last thing we looked at,
What was that?
the shoe, the Michael Jordan shoe that they
Oh, that's disgusting. Actually.
Really? I don't know.
No, it was like an all black made.
With like the one with
it's-
it like the where it looked like the sole was cracked.
no,
that
no,
one?
no. It's a new shoe. It's
A
supposed to be
new
an
one.
upcoming release.
Okay, I don't know which one that
it's
one.
it's bad. It's bad.
I don't know.
But if you
What?
want to choose styling or style camp,
Why you asking that question?
I don't know. I just
You
want
know
to
what
know.
I'm saying? I mean,
Either you do styling or you teach. Because
I'll
you did teaching
styling.
before. I don't know.
styling,
Huh?
styling.
You teach styling. You rather teach it or?
I rather do styling.
Okay.
No, it's
Yeah, I think
preference.
that was it. That was my rapid fire questions. I think we're like literally out of time. It's dark outside. This was fun.
Yep.
Renelle, you look great.
Thank you.
I'll try to keep you as my best dressed guest for the next year. I'll try. I'll
Wait,
tell everybody to dress
You could
down.
let me to dress my bring
Or if
me
anybody
to
else
dress
does
your
better
guest.
than you, then I'll have you on
You have to
again.
cancel the podcast. I
No,
don't
if
know. That's
anyone
all. You have to
does not
cancel
know.
it. You have to just throw the whole thing
I'll
away.
have to bring you on again.
But that will never happen.
All right. It's so bad.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not the
It's
best
so
thing I've
bad.
ever
No, but
seen.
compared to everything else, that's like the good ones. It's so bad.
But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what to say.
Yeah. But yeah, this was fun. You can check
It
out
was.
Renelle on Instagram at Ren.
At
Well-
Ren Wilson Stylist, you could follow Style Camp TT. Gonna have some more things coming soon with respect to courses and stuff like that. Dealing with stress management, stuff of that nature.
Mental health and
Yes.
yeah, that's
Youth
cool.
development. So,
We'll always plug everything of the guests, well, our guests. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say.
I don't know, just live fashionably.
All right. That's it from Jabari, and Renelle.